Next speaker will be Collin Thomas. He, by the way, is a freshman at the Met School. It's a state charter school for career and technical in Newport, Rhode Island. So, coming up, Collin. And his talk is The Future is Now.
The future is now. Kids are a mind-growing, amazing creatures. I like that. Creatures. It's a cool word. Most of these things is believing. When you create something, you have to believe in it. The reason why kids are so good at this is because they're good at believing in stuff, so that's why I chose kids. So I personally love making stuff. These are two photos of the 2 weekends apart, are 2 weeks apart. Not only does New England have crazy weather, but I like to determine or to be able to make anything I want at the same time. So I'm going to talk about hovercrafts for my project. I love hovercrafts. I do a lot of projects with hovercrafts. I have multiple ribbons from the World Maker Faire for my hovercraft, so that's pretty cool. So this is our first prototype of our hovercraft. We were actually trying to go for a slingshot effect in the first photo, but apparently it turned into bowling, so don't do that. It's bad. So version 2 was our Luke's land speeder from episode 4. Don't quote me on that. We just took random pieces of the World Maker Faire boxes and stuff that they were not using, and we just made Luke's land speeder, so that's pretty cool. Version 3. This is actually the first of its kind, a quad hovercraft. So it's the first one that we know of, and we've tried to find. So we went to the World Maker Faire and presented that. So yes, that is pretty cool. Have little accidents. Let's go into that. So without having accidents in your projects, you can't learn from those mistakes. The mistakes that you learn from those things are important because kids, they really empowering those things. The thing that adults and older generations don't have is they didn't have the internet. So they can't Google like a actual class on how to make things. And helping create those things is 3D printers. We have so much technology, but this is like the first like really helpful technology that we had for kids to 3D print things and just be able to make anything that we really wanted. So the necessity is the mother of invention. That is very true. Kids are really good at this because they don't have jobs or they don't have money a lot of the time. So they take scrap things and they just make things that they want to make, and it's helpful. These are 3 girls that made actually artificial limbs out of 3D printed parts that were being actually shipped out to kids that needed them because kids are still growing and it's very expensive to buy artificial limbs. So these are more detailed pictures of the actual artificial limbs. They actually work very well, even though they look like that they haven't worked in a while. They actually are really nicely made. Like they're pretty good. They're actually helping a lot of people right now, and it's really important. So this is a 15-year-old that made a submarine. Going back to the believing part, adults say sometimes that you can't do these projects because they're either too dangerous or they just don't think you can do it. So there is 3 girls that made a generator working off of pee, which is pretty awesome actually. This is a real thing. I love this. This is cool because everyone needs to go to the bathroom. So it's a chemical reaction. I like that. Bill Nye is awesome, so I wanted to throw him in there. Science is real, yes. I like to throw him out in there for that. I wanted to go into another story where this kid was, he didn't have a lot of supplies, so he took a spare bike parts and wood and made a windmill to power 4 houses, their lights, all 4 lights in their houses, or all of their lights in their house. There is a boy in Mexico that made this for his mom that had breast cancer, and she almost passed away from it actually. And he made it so they could sense the breast tissue in the actual breast, so they could figure out what was going on. So there was this girl in middle school, which is pretty awesome. I like this one a lot. This one's pretty awesome. I personally like artificial limbs, and on the next slide I'll talk about this more. But she made a glitter gun that literally shoots glitter, and it has capsules to put the glitter like powder in there. That is insane. So yeah, why can't you have a real or a different type of artificial limb? It's cool that you can make anything you want. So thank you. Kids can do anything.